Hello friends, welcome to our channel. Today in this video we are going to discuss about Power Apps newly introduced feature called Code Apps. Now let's understand what they are, why they matter and how a professional developer can use them inside a Power Platform. If you are a developer who loves using tools like Visual Studio Code and React but needs the governance of data connectivity of Power Platform, or if you are a Power Platform maker ready to step into the world of professional coding, this is really interesting for you. Okay, why code apps? In Power Platform, makers are already building applications like Canvas, model driven app using low code or no code. Then why code is required? To understand that, let's understand the concept of citizen developers and professional developers. Now, who is citizen developer? Citizen developers are people who can build apps using simple tools. They like Power Apps because it's fast to build apps. They don't need deep coding knowledge. In simple words, citizen developers use Power Apps to quickly create business apps without complex coding. Whereas professional developers are people who write code as their main job. They build software, websites, apps, or systems using programming languages like TypeScript, JavaScript, C Sharp, etc. Okay, in simple terms, a professional developer is trained to build software by writing code and technical problems. Unlike citizen developers who use low codes, a professional developer create applications from scratch using programming language and advanced tools. Now this slide explains what Power Apps code really mean. On this image, on the left side, you can build the code app. That includes your custom front end using frameworks like React, Angular, or Vue. You write your business logic using languages like TypeScript, Node.js, C Sharp, or Python, and you use your preferred developer tools like Visual Studio Code, Git, and NPM. On the right side, you get the power of Power Platform. This includes authentication through Azure AD, security and compliance, data connectors with hundreds of APIs, hosting and scalability, and fully managed services. At the center, both worlds come together as an integrated code app. Think of it like building a custom engine and placing it inside a luxury car chassis. You get full control over the engine, but the chassis provides safety, structure, and performance. So, in simple terms, code apps give you full developer control plus environment grade platform power, all perfectly integrated. Okay, let's talk about benefits. First one is enterprise grade security. When you build a code app inside Power Platform, it is not just a regular web app. It runs within the Power Platform environment, so it automatically inherits platform level security, governance, and compliance controls. Code apps automatically integrate with Microsoft Entra for secure identity management. This includes companies, account, login, single sign-on, multi-factor authentication, and role-based access controls. As a developer, we don't need to build custom login pages or manage tokens manually because the platform already handles this. Okay, we are aware of the data loss prevention policies in Power Platform, right? As a Power Platform administrator, if we define DLP policies to control how data moves between connectors and systems, code apps also automatically comply these DLP policies only. Now we have an access to 1500 connectors as per the Microsoft official documentation. That means you can add all the connectors to your code apps. But one thing here we need to note is you cannot create a new connection from the code app. Rather, you can use the existing connections that you already created within the Power Platform portal. You just add that connections into your code apps and use it. Okay, and here one important point is, as of now we cannot use Excel, OneDrive, Excel business connectors. Yeah. Now let's move on to the next one. Full developer freedom. Full developer freedom means you can use modern framework like React, Vue or Angular and build in your preferred IDEs such as VS Code. You maintain complete control over the UI UX and application architecture still running on the Power Platform. Okay, so this is the flexibility that you have got with this code apps thing. Now you can use the same regular ALM process that we are generally following in Power Platform. You can use Power Pipelines, you can use Azure CDI/C pipelines, or you can use CDC pipelines. Yeah, all the apps we create will go and sit in your environment's preferred solution. Okay, you can move this app from this solution to another solution and use the solution to the deployment to the productions or import to another environment. Now let's understand architecture overview. In code apps context, this diagram shows how your custom code connects and runs inside Power Platform. You develop application locally, but when you publish it, the application runs on Power Platform, not outside it. The development layer. It is where you write your code using tools like Visual Studio, Node.js, NPM, and frameworks like React or Vue. The bridge layer, it includes the Power Apps SDK and SLI. It converts your local development to Power Platform environment and helps your package and deploy your app. This is the Power Platform SDK converts your local app into Power Platform understandable app. The Power Platform runtime layer is where your app runs after publishing it. It uses platform services like Microsoft Entra, Dataverse, connectors, and governance, giving you enterprise security and managed infrastructure automatically. Now, let's understand what are the prerequisites. So, to build application, you definitely have to have Visual Studio Code, which is recommended, and you need to have a Node.js LTS version. If not, you can install this through your command line. So the new Power App CLI, the old CLI is going to be deprecated. That's why they made it simplified process to use the Power App CLI. Everything is defined in the documentation, so we can follow the steps clearly there. Git, for version controlling and accessing, they have given Git samples. As of now, GitHub integration is not supported. Now, before building it, you first have to set up your environment. In Power Platform, in whichever environment you are trying to start with this code app, that environment should be Dataverse enabled, and you have to be either environment admin or environment maker, okay, to build it. Next, to enable this feature called code apps and Power Apps, so you have to have either system administrator or you can reach out to Power Platform administrator to enable this one. So these changes are must before you get started with code apps development. Okay, and for the moment you start with this code apps, you have to keep that in your mind, right? It is a premium application. So After you build this application, when you share it with the users, the end users must have Power Apps premium license. That is one of the biggest catch here. Yeah, that's it, friends. I hope you learned something from my content. If yes, please do subscribe to my channel. In my next video, I'm gonna show how to set up code apps in your Visual Studio Code and deploy it to Power Platform environment.